Let us continue from where we left off. We're going to read the next chapter of this book. It's called Bound to Blood and Moonlight. It's a good werewolf billionaire romance. As always, I read for you, and you enjoy the plot. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let us read. Chapter 4. The Collapse in His Chest. Damian waited until Marcus and the new analyst disappeared around the corner before releasing the wall. His skin felt taut, his pulse hammered against his ribs. Crossing to the expansive, uncurtained office window, he caught his own reflection. Rigid, composed on the surface, fraying inside, he adjusted his tie, smoothed the silk with precise, deliberate movements, and tried to force neutrality onto a face that felt like fractured stone. The effort failed. What began as irritation, anger at his wolf for exposing itself, shifted into something worse, an uneasy awareness. Something in him was fundamentally unbalanced. The wolf surged again. A demanding heat pressed beneath his ribs, not for action, but for recognition. Beneath his polished shoes, the floor vibrated faintly. A deep, organic tremor, nothing like the building's technological hum. The low, animal rumble stirred a memory he refused to revisit, echoing from the night that fractured everything. The floor thrummed again, stronger, commanding his full attention. He crossed the office and stopped behind his steel desk. The internal tension surged, forcing his hand. He needed a distraction, an anchor. Dangerous as it was, proximity to her, the one presence that could ignite or calm the wolf, offered fleeting stability. He pressed the intercom. When he spoke, he kept his voice flat, controlled. "Liora, I need you up here. Momentary redirect on your initial tasking. Urgent." The lie tasted like ash. There was no urgent task. He just needed her near enough to steady himself. Attraction and self-loathing churned together. He hated that he craved her presence when he was teetering on the edge of panic. A moment later, soft footsteps echoed through the hall, muffled by carpet, yet resonating straight into the tension in his chest. The door opened. She entered with quiet efficiency, the movement of someone trained to take up as little space as possible. His rational mind screamed at him to remain composed. Too late. Her scent hit him first. Warm, wild, achingly familiar, like a ghost limb awakening. Panic and hunger coiled inside him, raw and physical. He anchored himself against the desk, knuckles biting into the polished wood as his inner wolf surged, threatening to break the surface. The strain blurred his peripheral vision. The overhead lights flickered, just briefly. Forcing his muscles to relax, he released the desk. He handed her a meaningless file. A finalized transfer manifest. "Check these routing codes," he said. "Flat. Rehearsed. I need confirmation they match the intake log." The lie burned. He hated that he had summoned her just to see her. Liora's eyes lifted from the folder. Sharp. Perceptive. They immediately caught what was wrong. The tension between them passed unspoken. Quiet, but electric. His fingers trembled as he withdrew his hand. A subtle signal of fraying discipline. Her voice was low. Careful. Still, it betrayed her intuition. "Are you okay?" Liora accepted the folder, keeping her focus on the contents while sensing the tension radiating from him. Her eyes scanned the codes. Everything appeared correct. Then her thumb brushed a faint carved spiral in the corner of the folder. The surface was cold. A shiver climbed her arm. Fear flared instantly, memory triggering. Amber eyes in the dark, a visceral connection to a past terror. She drew her hand back just as Damian's gaze snapped downward, catching her sudden distress. Before she could react, the floor shifted. Not the familiar tech vibration, something deeper, visceral. A tremor rolled beneath her feet, yanking her out of memory and into sharp, shared alertness. A low, feral growl reverberated through the floor. Massive. Animalistic. Nothing a building should ever produce. Damian reacted instantly. He stepped in front of her, protective, eyes wide, raw instinct breaking through his controlled exterior. Then the growl faded. Silence settled heavy and wrong. "Did you hear that?" she asked. Her voice was tight. Damian stared past her, jaw clenched. He didn't answer. The move, shielding her, had been instinctive, a primal error. Unsettled, Liora stepped closer, seeking support against the invisible tension. Damian recoiled. Sharp, immediate, as if her proximity might ignite him. Their bodies collided anyway, an almost romantic clash of fear and need. Inside him, the wolf snarled, "Mine." Liora tilted her head. Confusion replaced fear. Her whisper slipped past his defenses. "Why do you always look like you're afraid of me?" He pressed his lips into a thin line, refusing her gaze. "I'm fine," he said. Then, colder, controlled. "Just get back to the routing logs. Immediately." Her nod was tight, obedient in form, not in belief. She stepped out, closing the door behind her. The click of the latch shattered his fragile hold. Damian stumbled backward, hands slapping flat against the desk. He exhaled shakily, almost a sob. He grabbed a cheap plastic pen. The surge inside him wouldn't stop. Denied proximity, his wolf erupted. Tendons locked in his forearms. The pen cracked loudly in his grip. Black ink bled across his palm. The shards bit into him, physical proof of his instability. He let the fragments fall onto the polished mahogany. Fury dissolved into despair, into fear. He bent forward, pressing his forehead to the desk, breathing like a man drowning. The fire, the blood, the tearing of muscle. Past trauma surged back, entangling with the overwhelming supernatural pull toward her. Beneath the building, a faint rumble answered. Confirmation that the danger was real. That control was slipping. "Barely audible," he whispered. "Not again."